Is it just me, or did anybody, when they were looking at Ichibe in the beginning of this chapter, and his eyes was wide as fuck, and he was spouting out that shit that have no idea what he was trying to say? I was like, yo, Ichibe, you all right, bro? Like, you on something? Like, pop the molly, I'm sweating. Like, what the fuck was going on with Ichibe in the beginning of this chapter? He was like, he looked like he was going insane. He was going mental, and at the same time, he was just spouting shit like, what are you talking about? So this chapter, Bleach, definitely one of the things that is problematic, and it's not necessarily just the chapter. I guess it's kind of what's going on right now with Bleach. It's getting very fast. It's moving things very fast to the point where it's getting a little bit like, you just told us this character was doing this last chapter, and this character was doing that, and you gotta wait for this. But then this chapter, you throw out all of what you just said, and like, characters is here, characters there, everybody like... So I think the pacing is becoming a problem, and that kind of worries me again that Jump is rushing Kubo, like, finish Bleach this year. Like, Naruto ended last year, we want you to end this year, which is stupid on their part if they're rushing him. At the end of the day, if he has to take another 6 months or a year to properly tell it with proper pacing, let him do his job. But that's one of the things that definitely this chapter displayed, is that things is moving really, really quick. I mean, especially at the end of the chapter, it's like, holy shit, Ichigo's already there, which, good setup in a sense, but at the same time, it's like, this is going really quick. Now, when Ichibe said, that is all there is to the so-called peace, right, Yhwach? What is he talking about? Does he mean like... Because again, we don't know necessarily exactly what Bach is trying to do. I mean, we've heard, and he said this and that or whatever. Initially, I just thought he wanted to destroy the Serite and kill Yamamoto, and he would have been fine with that. But he kept going a step further and a step further. Now, we find out about, his relation to the Soul King and everything that he's doing. Which, by the way, is the Soul King completely dead at this point? Or... was it that, like, what's going on there? Because we see him in front of the pod right as Ichigo, approach him or whatever. So did he already stab him and kill him? What's up? But I wouldn't be surprised if Bach and, like, similar to his predecessor Aizen, what he was trying to do is, again, maybe save peace, and maybe he was trying to find an actual peace because the Soul King is dirty. We still don't know about the Soul King himself. We didn't get any exposition, any character. All we saw is just some fucking weird... fucking mutant looking motherfucker there. So we don't know about Soul King. We don't know if everything that Bach is doing right now is basically him being a radical and basically trying to bring peace in his own way. Either way, Ichibe looked like he was high as fuck. Then we got a little bit of like downtime. We got Ukitake kind of healing everybody, which again, it just felt like fast and all over the place. And when Zaraki and Urahara there, two of my favorite Bleach characters of all time, were kind of butting heads and shit, and Zaraki was like, yo, I just imagine, I know he didn't say, but I just imagine Zaraki saying, yo, who the fuck you think you're talking to, bro? I'll break your fucking neck. But, like, just seeing that was, like, a priceless for me personally, loving both of those characters, like, them being two of my favorite Bleach characters, seeing them butting heads or whatever. And Urahara kind of had me, and we always have these suspicions. I think everybody always, in one way or another, gives a little bit of a look at Urahara, like, yo, you a kind of fishy motherfucker or whatever. But when he jumped, he was like, no! Made me think, why are you so jumpy? And he even said, oh, sorry for the knee-jerk reaction. It was almost as if, who knows, maybe Urahara is planning something a little bit further than what we even suspect or whatever. Because, like, he just was immediately like, no, you can't mess this up. The plan is already set. It could be that he just, you're going to mess things up. We're trying to get there. We got to do things properly. Could be something else. I never completely get, as much as I like Urahara, I never completely take the finger off. You could be up to something. And I'm glad that the Yachiru plot point is still being, floating around. I think that's going to be major to Zaraki later on, whether he has a major fight or something. There's definitely going to be some huge plot point regarding Yachiru, and I think that might have something to do with him awakening his Bankai. Maybe she is his Bankai. Maybe he released his Bankai premature, and that was actually Yachiru. But either way, I'm glad that they're continuing that small plot point because it's going to be something big for Zaraki later on. You can totally see it. And then talking about fast pace, yet again, didn't Urahara just like last chapter say we need to wait for some people, we can't go right away? He just told Zaraki like, yo, chill out, it's not ready. And then all of a sudden, yeah, everybody put your Reiatsu, we're getting ready to go, it's gonna rain, it's gonna get wet. Like, what the fuck's up with the pacing? But then at the end of the chapter, that's set up like, wow, fast, but at the same time, good shit that we're already going to the final stages of the battle. Like, let's be real here. There's going to be a lot more before Ichigo and Bach swing swords for their final fight or whatever. I mean, we still got Aizen. We have the Fullbringers. We have a lot of things to cover before they actually throw down for their final fight. But we're reaching the final stages. Ichigo arrived right in back of him. He has, Chad, Orihime, Yoruichi for the win. and crusty ass Ganju. No, he has, you know, some people with him. I don't know why. Why is Ganju there? Like, realistically, what the fuck is Ganju gonna do? And a cool setup at the end, which means we got some progression. Ichigo's already there. Fight's about to go down. Urahara and them are about to launch as well. Urahara looking a little fishy. Zaraki with the Yachiru plot point. So, with all that being said, while we do have fast pacing and it's like, come the fuck on. Like, let's not get too ahead of ourselves neither. Same time, we still got some good progression, and ultimately, we're going into the final phases of what's going to be happening in Bleach in the end. So, good shit there. Overall, I felt it was a good chapter. Fine to a good. More so want to say good after especially talking all this. Is like, yeah, quite a few things happened. It's just really the pacing that was problematic. But aside from that, I thought it was a good chapter. I honestly was like, wow, we're already going into the final stages and shit is getting intense. So, yeah, good stuff. Maybe 7 out of 10 for this one. Just seriously, if Jump is the one doing this and they're telling Kubo you need to speed things up and it's making things get a little chaotic and characters like Komomoro, we just saw him last chapter like he was on all fours. Now he's healed up, which I'm wondering, did they heal him up and he's still in that puppy state or dog state? Or is he back to a normal state? Like, what do they mean as far as to what extent did they heal him? But please, Jump. Slow the fuck down. Get off of Kubo's balls. Let him do his thing. But let me know what you guys thought of this chapter. How did you feel about it? Do you feel it was too fast? Do you think Ichigo versus Bak is going to go down next chapter? I think that there's still going to be more before they actually swing swords and we get a final fight. I mean, where's Uryu? Where's Hoshwald? You know, there's still a lot of things. The guards. There's a lot of stuff still to cover, but we're getting there. What the fuck do you guys think Ichibe was on about when he was in the beginning of the chapter talking about peace and shit? Like, what? Your overall thoughts of the chapter. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.